Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be doing artificial from HackTheBox. This is a box sorted about solid easy. And yeah, let's get on to the video. As always, I'm started by pinging my IP address. Let's do a ping count for 3 for 1010, 1174. What it gets a response back from the server. So I'm going to start running mmap scan. So they have MISSC for default scripts for the enumeration. Let's scan ports on the IP. Doing this, I'll do my verbose. We have total 2 ports open, port 80 open for HTTP, and also port 22 open for SSH. I did put this into my /etc host, Control / the host. You'll see that I do have this for 10.10.1174 for the host name for artificial HTTP. So here we do have a AI experience here. We have some code here, for example code. Maybe we can look into some modules here that they're using. And we don't have anything under here. We do have a get started page here. We have a username, email, and a password. I'll do this for testing at gmail.com, and I'll just do testing 123. Show them that. Testing at gmail.com. Testing 123. So we do have some requirements for this upload page here. We have a requirements, also a Docker file. So I'm going to download this Docker file, or this requirements.txt. And we have a TensorFlow CPU 2.13.1. So I'm gonna search for a 12 point. We had this for 2.13.1. We'll search it for my exploit. We'll just for hack tricks. And we do have a TensorFlow RC here for this specific version for this module, right? This is a requirements.txt. I'll do the same thing for this Docker file here. Go to Docker file. And it seems like we can use the Docker file to build. Let's start by checking this RC though. So we'll see what we can do with, most likely going to run with Python. So if we use the same version for, TensorFlow, for the specific version, we can output this to an exploit.h5. And then upload this to the server. So let's start by doing that. Well, first let's start by going to this Docker file. We have this Docker file. I'm going to copy this, put this into a Docker file. That's a Docker file. You can just simply copy and paste that Docker file. We can do a Docker build. We can do -t, and we can just do this for my-image. This will build the image into this directory that we're in under. When you have a my-image, you can do a docker.ps. In this case, I'm just going to do a docker run. We'll do -it. And we did have this as docker or as my-image. This will run the image, and we can run this as this /bin/bash. Maybe we can take this off, and it lets us run. It's already running bash, so we don't need that. So you'll see, even though this is the container that it built from the Docker file with the specific version of Python to compile that TensorFlow, right? So we'll go into TensorFlow. We'll copy this file. I'll put this into a, I believe we don't have nano or even under here. I'm going to put this into a exploit.py, and we'll transfer this to my machine. Let's put that in there. I'm going to right quit for now. We don't have wget. We don't have any of these binaries, so I'm just we have curl. But if you ever like in a Docker container and want to simply just update or install wget, you can just do apt-get update. And you can apt-get install for wget. And this will let you install wget if there's like no curl or wget binary. So now we have wget, and we can wget from our IP address. So I'll do ifconfig. We don't even have ifconfig. If I do apt-get ifconfig, I believe it's like apt-get install ifconfig. There's a specific nettools, right? This is what we need. We can install nettools on here. App doesn't work, or it does work. Okay, so now if I do an ifconfig, you'll see we have the IP address as 172 or for a Docker container 172.17.0.2. When we ping this, we should be able to ping this. Now we can get files from our machine. So I'm going to be adding to exploit.py. We'll see what we have. We can do OS system, which will execute systems on the back end of the server. On the Linux server, we'll just get a reverse shell here. We'll go to pentest monkey, rev shell. I like using /temp. So this remove /temp. And we'll do this on 9001. And also for my IP address, do this for Control-Shift-O for ifconfig 10.10.14.23. We'll do this on 9001, and this will output this. This will output the model to an exploit.h5 file, which we can upload to the server. So do Python 3 -m http.server import 8081 for exploit.py wget http. We'll do this from my IP address for import 8081 for this exploit.py. Now we do have the exploit.py. We can run a Python 3 for exploit.py, and this will use the module that was installed, or the specific module which we did have for the specific version. In this case, we have this under requirements.txt for this 2.13.1. And we can successfully, this was compiled into that H5 file. So I'll do Python 3 -m, we'll do ifconfig, Python 3 -m http.server import 8081. We want to get this exploit.h5 back on my server. I'm going to get this back on my machine. So do wget http. We have this for 172.17.0.2 import 8081 for exploit.h5. So on that. Now we do have this exploit.h5 on my machine. That was used to compile. So I'm going to go to browse. We'll start up a listener. We did have this on 9001. So I'm exile this. Exile the Docker container. We'll do all rep. And then cat -lmvp on 9001. Go to browse. Artificial. And we want to upload that exploit.h5. Go to exploit.h5. Go to upload a model. Let's go to view predictions. We do ID. And now we're under app. I'm going to start by doing some enumeration. We'll do a bash -i. We'll do a Python 3 for bin/bash. And we'll just export my term is equal to xterm. Now we can clear our terminals. So I'm going to go under /app. We don't have anything under here. I'm going to start by checking this instance directory. See what we have under here. Do else -la. We do else -la. We do have a users.db. We can use SQLite 3, which allows us to use this DB file and simply select or simply view, right? So I'm going to refresh this one more time. Get the shell. We'll do a Python 3. We'll cd into the instance one more time. I want to transfer this file to my machine. So we'll start up a server. So do Python 3 -m http.server import 8081. Server on 8081. We'll be getting this users.db. So wget http. We do have the IP address for 10.10.11.74 import 8081 for this users.db. And now we can use SQLite 3 with a proper shell. Users.db. We can do a .tables. We can use a select star from user. And we will get all the hashes here. So we have a couple of users here for Jell, Mark, Robert, Royer. I'm going to copy the first 3 hashes, see if we do get any hits, or see if we can crack the hashes. So I'm going to be into hashes.txt. Put that in there. And we'll do the same thing for Mark. I believe, let's go back. I want to see if we can log out. And usually I like check if we can enumerate for any users. So if we go into email, we can check for, we have the user for JL. We can do JL at, and we specify just to specify the hostname HTTP. Sometimes this will give us a proper username to enumerate for users. So we could do like a test. We can do login, and there's no output from the server. So we can't really confirm, but we'll just try the first two hashes. So we do John, we'll do my word list is equal to user share word list rocku.txt for this hashes.txt. This is going to be I believe we have, if we put this into like a hashes.txt, this will be a proper MD5. So do hash identifier. You'll see that we need to specify the format as MD5. So do minus format is equal to MD5, or for, I believe it's always with a capital R. So raw dash MD5. And we have, I believe this is going to be for the first user for jail. So we can specify, we have port 22 open for SSH. So we do SSH for the user for GAEL at 10.10, 1174. Press enter on that. We do ID, and now we're under jail. So I'm going to start doing some notation under var HTML. So what we do have under here, I'm going to check under /opt. We do have a backrest. Before doing that, we'll check into his home directory. We do have user.txt and also a .sh. Something under here. We'll see into this backrest. And we do have a couple of, we do have a .config and also a backrest. So I'm going to cd into this config file, see if there's any credentials. Go to backrest, and we have a config.json. So we don't have a config. We can't get this config.php. This is just read and write. Looking at the permission, we have read and write for the machine. I'm going to go under /var. Usually we can check for some backups here, which we do have, and we have a backup rest. So I'll just do a tar minus x or xvf or against a backup rest. We can just typically get this file into our machine. So do Python 3 same http.server on port 8000. We'll make a directory for files. We'll copy this backrest into files, C into files. Tar minus xvf for backup rest. And we have the backrest. Same thing, .config. We have this cd backrest. And this config.json. I'm going to check this. This seems like it's going to be base 64. So I'm just going to pipe this out, base 64. Base 64 minus D. And we have a hash here. I believe it's going to be bcrypt since it does have the $sign. I'll do this for hash.txt. Right quit. Do John minus word list is equal to user share word list rocku.txt. We'll do a minus format for is equal to bcrypt, I believe. Let's check for bcrypt. I'm not too sure of the format. I think John will recognize it. We'll do minus format is equal to bcrypt. So after a while, we do get the password here. So it was indeed bcrypt. If we check the hashes or the hash.txt, you'll see usually by $, you'll see that this identifies as bcrypt. We have the backrest root, so we can we'll see if this goes into backrest for this specific password. We log in, and we get a logging successful on backrest. So now we're under backrest for 1.7.2. I'm going to go to add repo. I'm going to start by doing adding a repo and see if we can execute a command for rest. Rest will allow us to start a rest server and then get a connection back. So we can get all the files from root and then put it onto our machine locally. So here I'll do this for under /opt. We have the password. I'll do this for pass. And we can simply just submit. Seems like we have a wrong password. Password 123. We'll do a test underscore repo. We get a, let's refresh this. Let's go to add a repo, testing. We'll go to, for test URI /opt, password. And go to submit. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go to submit. We'll go into here. We'll see if we can we execute a command here? We can run a command. And let's go to GTFO bins will help us with the commands for using I believe it was restic here. So here we can start a server. So we can do a minus listen. Also we'll specify the remote port. Also we need to specify a the listen option, also minus auth option for the rest server. So I'll do a, I believe it gives us a link here to download the rest server. Let's go to binaries. So we have all this. We'll do this for Linux. We have AMD 64. I'll just get this rest server. We'll go to here. We'll do mkdir for files. Just do mkdir for rest. Rest.server. Scene to rest. Rest.server. So I'll just get this tar.gc file. We'll do tar minus xvf for the file. This will get our rest server, cd into the directory. We'll do a chmod plus x for the rest server. C into rest server. Now we can specify minus help, and this should be the binary that we need. So I'm going to be specifying for /temp. By default, it is doing it under. Actually, we'll do it under /opt. So by default, it is doing under /temp. We'll do this under /opt. So I do have some files under there. We can do a minus listen. So do minus listen. We'll do this on port 8000 for default. Do this on localhost for 8000. And we can specify is there an auth option here for minus no auth? We can press it on that. I believe we'll just do the same directory listing for optimistic. This is for minus. Need a minus path for this for restic, and now we have those running on port 8000. So I'm gonna go to GTFO bins. We'll go to we can run a restic. We can do a -r for localhost, and also running on port. Well, we have this on port. I believe this is on 5000. I think I ran this on, or it was on port 8000 actually on my rest server. So let's go here, go to execute commands. So I'll do a -r. If we do a -r, you'll see that is already running the restic. So under opt back rest and restics, we can do a -r. We don't want to do restic for starting with the command and also running with the command on the back end of the server. So let's specify the protocol. If we have this for rest, we'll do HTTP. We'll get my IP address. Let's start by getting my IP address. So we'll do Control-Shift-O for ifconfig. 10.10.14.23. We'll do this on port 8000. We want to do this for, I believe we had this for, I did this for restic. So under /opt restic. We'll do init, execute. Do we get a hit back? Let's create a repository under /opt restic. Okay. So we can now copy this one more time. And now we want to specify our repo, which was this heuristic for backup. We'll create a backup, and it's going to be the backup for root on the Linux machine. So the command was successful, creating that backup for /root. So I'll do Control-Shift-O. So do restic. We'll do -R for under op restic. I think this is under for specify snapshots for the password for 12345, or we'll specify the password as 12345. And now we have the ID, which we're gonna recover from the path from root. So we do ristic -R for /temp, or for slop ristic, for ristic, and we'll specify restore, the restore option for our ID, -target for, we'll specify the directory for restore. Press it on that. So go into restore. We have under root house /select cd into .sh and cat our ID _RSA. So I'm gonna we don't even need to copy this. We can just do a chmod 700 for ID _RSA. SSH into root for 10.10.11.74 for -I for ID _RSA. We do ID now under root, c into root, already under there, and cat our root.txt. You guys pretty much in the video. Don't like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.